Facing a 2nd and 17 from the 44. They have controlled this ball game since the second quarter. They trailed 12-0 to begin the game, but really haven't been stopped. Robert Turbin again, over 100 yards, the 4th time he's done that this season, surpassing Roger Grant, now 6th all-time leading rusher. Chucky Keaton with a brilliant performance, and a little bit more dynamic offensively. Keaton throwing the ball more than he has in some of the previous games.
We talked about it in the opening that tonight was the night that they needed to let Chucky loose. Let him throw it down the field, which he did a couple of times, including a long one to Kerwin Williams down the left hand to the Aggie sideline. They let him loose tonight. They let him throw. They let him go, and they needed to do that because when you're coming averaging 300 yards rushing, you've got to open it up just a little bit.
Almost intercepted. Boy, Kennedy staring down the path of Luke Anderson, and he dropped it. Reynolds was the intended receiver. Kind of an interesting story because you thought that the starter might be Alex Hart coming into this season, and through spring ball got sick, then left the team, and then it was like, well, you probably go with Adam Kennedy because he's experienced, JC guy, instead of a true freshman at Auburn, and the plan was to play both of them, but Keaton ends up starting and playing so well, they can't take him out of the game.
And remember Joe Glenn, the old Wyoming coach, came in to do some consulting. And he came to one of those fall scrimmages, and he said, that's the guy. And sure enough, Chucky's been the guy. And thank goodness for Chucky that Utah State has got a bright future on offense.
Nice punt by Bennett, again inside the 20-yard line, and really all season long, red zone. That has been a major story for Utah State. 22 of 22. Are you serious?
And 19 of those touchdowns. I mean, in most
that's
cases,
the stat, really, is the touchdowns.
Exactly. When you don't have to settle for field goals inside the red zone, I mean, that's when you're really dominant, especially up front. And we talked about that Utah State didn't let Chucky loose because Coach Anderson thought that the pass protection was a little suspect.
First down pass play. Nice job. Smith on that far side.
I thought that was a fascinating comment that, the offensive line has been so dominant in the run game, but their pass protection has been a little bit suspect. And so Coach Anderson is basically saying, as we run the football, we're going to just keep pounding the rock. And Chucky's only getting 15 to 18 throws a game. Well, tonight he threw it more than 20 and threw for 5 touchdowns.
This will be a first down and much more room to go. Looking for a block. Finally brought down by Lawson. But what a return that time. What a nice pitch and catch. That was Miller. Brandon Miller's done some nice things. Touchdown earlier this year. Lost the young man that brought him down. So the upcoming schedule, of course, Fresno State. They'll be back with La Tech. And then we'll have that San Jose State for you on KCSG on November the 12th. The conference play begins next week. Wyoming getting some rhythm here in fourth quarter. Some of the backups in. Actually, they still have a lot of starters in for the Aggies, but Wyoming getting into a rhythm offensively.
And when you're up by 37, sometimes you start to take the foot off the pedal just a little bit. Coach Anderson won't like that. He is preached all week long, we got to finish. That's where they've struggled, is finishing ball games. Even in a lopsided game like this, he wants to see his team finish the job.
Brandon Miller.
Miller on that direct snap. The sophomore from Colorado. Coming in with 207 rushing yards. That rushing touchdown, controversial rushing touchdown in that first half. Really no way to overturn it. Get another look at that, but
we only had the one look coming down the goal line, so you really couldn't overturn it. And at that point,
well, you could have 5 looks and you still wouldn't go with that one.
And at that point, it was a 21-19 ball game.
Yeah, that's true.
Aggies have run off 35 consecutive points.
With time looking downfield, now going to tuck and run. Does so at the 36-yard line.
One thing that I'm noticing here with Smith is when his first option is not ready, not available to him, that's when he struggles. Checking off on that set to the second to the third option, that's where he has struggled most. So when Utah State has taken away that first option on the quick throw, you're getting that shotgun snap First option's not there. Now he's panicking just a little bit.
Third down. I mean, they've had a tough time on third downs, but they get one. Ghali Muhammad picks up the first down on the far side. They have the three-headed monster with running backs, and we just have not really seen them be much of a factor on the ground. Really, if anything, they've been more of a factor through the passing attack.
This time a little option route. Ghali Muhammad against Bobby Wagner, and this time Muhammad beat him to the out route. And a good throw by Smith to get the first down. But you're right, this quick passing game really it acts like a run game. Sort of a West Coast, out of the shotgun, West Coast kind of offense.
Indirect snap. It's Alexander up the middle. So they're able to get some yards here in the fourth quarter. Alvester Alexander, 48 attempts for 192 yards coming into this game and 3 rushing touchdowns. They believe he's the more explosive back of the 3. Just have not been able to see that here tonight. On the Doak Walker award list, the same as Robert Turbin, and all sorts of conference accolades coming into this season. Timeout taken by Utah State. I want to talk things over with 10:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Still up 56-19. Here for Wyoming. Starting to play better in this fourth quarter. Here is Smith. Shotgun. Alvester close to a first down. I believe he's going to get it by a yard. So Alvester Alexander, the junior from Houston, Texas, which is the same hometown of Chucky Keaton, gets a first down for the Cowboys.
And you called it. He's more explosive, more experienced on that Doak Walker list. Really hasn't had a lot of carries here tonight. But a good-looking drive here for the Cowboys here late in the game.
Had 14 rushing touchdowns a season ago. Here is Smith. Incomplete. There was a major hit.
Philomoyatu just drilled Smith that time, coming off the edge. Put him to the turf. Just drilled him right in the chest, forcing that throw. And again, that's the inexperience of that freshman, stepping into that pressure and still being able to deliver and make a throw. That's an area where he will improve as time goes along. Right now, first read, not there. Little happy steps, take off and run. And, you're not seeing him check down to that second and third receiver at all tonight.
OJ, part of that 55 in-state guys here for Coach Gary Anderson. It is taken down to the 5-yard line. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Cowboys. Ranger High School is McNeil with another reception. It's been active, has the junior.
They do a nice job, though, on offense of putting him in position to make those quick throws. This time a little bubble, a little wide receiver screen. Giving him a window to throw, a little cut block up front by that offensive line to create that window. So they do a nice job in their play calling to get him the best chance to be successful. I just think the Aggies made a good adjustment on defense to be able to take that first option away there in the second and third quarters.
Play action. Smith gets it away. Is it caught? Incomplete pass.
Right there,
Wagner again on the coverage.
You see, look at those long arms. This is what the pro scouts love about this guy. The big hands, too. The gloves, it looks like his fingers are about 12 inches long. And his arms are so long that he can get off of blocks with one arm and be able to make plays with the other arm. And his arms are, you can see him a little bit like Turbin with those guns. He's a special talent, and you can see him play on Sundays.
The whack and tackles 2 years running. Love to make it a third, but certainly a draft pick coming up in April's NFL draft. 4th down, they're going to go for it in the end zone, and it's deflected, incomplete. The Aggies will take over on downs. Will Davis again, the young man in coverage. He's been superb.
Yeah, the 5'11", 169-pound junior. He has been outstanding here tonight.
8:53 left. Aggie football. Utah State will take over on downs from the 6-yard line. The defense able to stop the Wyoming offense again. Williams will be the deep back for Adam Kennedy, who's come in for Chucky Keaton, who's had a sensational performance. Here is Kerwin Williams to about the 12-yard line.
I think that Aggie offensive line has just been special tonight.
So our Sports Academy player of the game, who else? Chucky Keaton, quarterback.
Had to be Chucky tonight. 5 touchdown throws from 15 of 20, 213 yards. Made good reads. They let him throw it down the field a little bit. They made good reads with his feet as well, including this little first down scamper, getting out of the hands of the tackle of Hendricks there, getting to the first down marker. He was special tonight as that battle of the freshmen. I thought he really dominated it tonight.
Kennedy in this offense will keep it on the ground. Such a big deal was made of these two freshman quarterbacks. And again, we talked about there's 7 of them in the FBS starting, and it was Smith who had the better record, but I think we found out who the best true freshman is.
Yeah, the best record, obviously that has something to do with your competition, your level of competition. When you're playing Auburn, BYU, Colorado State, your level of competition is not quite at the same caliber, so those records sometimes are misleading.
The pitch by Kennedy will stay on his feet that time. I believe this is Kerwin Williams. No, pardon me. That is Joe Hill, the freshman from Fullerton, California, with the run.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of second team, third team guys in there. Jamie Markosian, Tanner Richens, a couple of others in on that offensive line. So everybody getting a chance to play tonight, which is terrific to continue to build up that depth.
Local guys too, both those guys you mentioned, prepping in the state of Utah. Here is Martin on the far side, gets a first down. 3 catches now for the X-Man.
There's the big arm bike. Kennedy just drilled it into the chest of Xavier Martin. Good looking throw. I think Kerwin Williams may have gone out of this game a little bit banged up.
Here's the IFA play of the game, and got to go back to this first quarter. Michael Smith, little screen play, and he does the rest.
Makes the man miss here at the end. I thought it was all set up, though, by the fake pump to the left by Keaton. And then coming back, and that offensive line got out in front. Smith doing the rest here. You can see that offensive line, Napalu, Schultz, who was also gone out of this game. Eric Schultz, the offensive tackle. But then Smith runs out of that tackle, gets into the end zone. That made the score 14-12 for Utah State. And that was a big play because Utah State, as you recall in this game, they were down 12-0 in the first 2 minutes of this ball game. But they came right back, and that got their offense really going, and the offense never really was stopped the rest of the way.
2nd and 7 for Kennedy in this offense. The far side. And this is Keegan Anderson, of course, Gary's son, getting some nice playing time, making the catch.
Yeah, the coach's boy, although mom's going to look at that hair and say, son, it may be time. He's got the sort of the Samson complex thing going there.
I think both brothers are like that, too, that play for Logan High School. Just, I think, wrapped up Region 5 last night with a win against Mountain Crest. But they all have that long, flowing hair, which, when I first knew Gary, he was bald. He would shave his head.
He's probably saying, if you got it, you might as well take it.
This play goes absolutely nowhere. The helmet knocked off of, I believe, Joe Hill. Yeah, Joe Hill. His second rushing attempt here of the fourth quarter. We approach under 5.5 to play in this fourth.
And I think the Aggie fans are saying, hey, this was a face mask. Let's see if, yeah, sure was. Yeah, it looked like it may have been a face mask that time on Luke Ruff, the strong safety, the 5'11", 195-pound junior. But the referee said, play on. With a 37-point lead, let's just get this game moving.
Bennett again with the punt. And this will be down inside the 15. Takes a nice Aggie roll. So Bennett, among the nation's leaders in punting. His first one was only 38, but since that time, he's done a wonderful job inside the 20. Back after this. Rolling against the Cowboys. Is Smith still in there at quarterback? Keep it on the ground. Run up the middle. About an 8-yard pickup on first down.
And these three running backs each came in averaging over 50, close to 50 yards a game. Wyoming comes in averaging over 200 yards a game rushing, but never really got the rush game going tonight. Of course, the Aggie defense only allows 112 yards rushing per game.
In shotgun, oh, the ball is free, and the Aggies are going to pick it up. So able to force the second turnover. Viafu coming in with the fumble recovery. I'm sure his eyes got big close to that goal line, and the Aggies offense will have it again. But the defense forcing its second turnover. And
that was a key coming into this ball game. They got the Bobby Wagner interception towards the end of the first half. They've only forced, coming into today, only 2 turnovers all season long. So the 2 turnovers double what they had earned in the first 4 games. This was the run before to Alexander. This last play, it was just a mix-up on the zone read between Smith and Alexander. It was almost like Alexander said, I don't want the football, and Viafu picked it up. You're right. I'm sure his eyes got big as he saw the goal line ahead.
Tavita, a freshman from Hawaii. Keep it on the ground. Just nowhere to go. Wow. Big time hit on Robert Marshall, who's getting a chance here in the second half. Well, students, bring in your student ID card to Wingers and receive 15% off your meal.
I've been waiting to call Taufa Ausau's name all night long. I practiced that one all week. And he made the big hit that time on Marshall. Taufa Ausau.
Yeah, he's had to play more because of the injury to Purcell. 2nd and 9. Looks like Marshall's going to get the ball again up the middle. Just pounding away inside the 5-yard line. Ground game once again effective for Utah State throughout.
Now a little bit of a dilemma here. Of course, you got 3rd down here, but the Aggies again perfect in the red zone on the season. What do you do here if you don't make it here on 3rd down? Do you kick a field goal, or do you go for it? What are your thoughts, Michael, on this to keep that perfect record alive?
315 rushing yards, by the way, by Utah State.
Above their average.
You know, I just go for it.
I think
let's put 60 up on the board, I think.
I think I probably would as well. Maybe Marshall's going to say, I don't care.
Moot points. Touchdown Aggies. Robert Marshall, the sophomore from Dallas, Texas.
What a job by Friesen and Rich and this backup Markosian, this backup offensive line. Marshall not even touched until he crossed the goal line. And the Aggie perfection in the red zone continues. 23 of 23, 20 touchdowns. It's just unheard of. It's remarkable.
Now the sky's the limit for this Aggie team, especially if they can play this way on offense. They will be tough to beat, no question about it. Thompson perfect on extra points here tonight. Young man, Logan Grizzly has done well in the kicking game, and there is Marshall up the middle. Got that great surge by that O-line.
Look at that. You know, Hendricks gets him about the goal line, but he's already 3 yards in before really anybody tackles him. Credit that Utah State backup offensive line of making the surge, and the Aggies dropping a 60. What do you call it? A 60 burger?
A 60 burger.
A 60 burger.
Well, Robert Turbin passing Roger Grant tonight for number 6 all-time rushing, who ranks 5th all-time. Ooh. Not bad.
You know this one?
I'm going to have to look it up. Normally, I'm the one that writes these trivia questions. but tonight they went with a different option, and probably good for Robert Turbin. Yeah, they're in the game notes if you want to.
I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm trying to get there because I really think I've got M&M's writing on this thing.
Hatter to kick off from the 30. 2 touchbacks on the night. Aggie fans have been waiting to see that. This one will be a shorter kick from the 10. To the 25, spinning, getting to the edge across the 30. Nice return. A 22-yard return there. And once again, the Cowboys will have a chance here on offense. Stuck on 19 points.
The Aggies have run off 42 straight in this ball game.
Oh, of course, the great Emmett White. 98-01, 27-91 career rushing yards.
The old Ben Lomond High grad.
That's right.
Emmett White.
Scott.
Terrific player here at Utah State. Remember him going for about 390 yards of total offense against New Mexico State in 2000. Heck of a player. But how about this Hulk that you called him?
Yes.
Robert Turbin.
Robert Turbin's amazing. And, you know, he sat out last year because of the injury. Talked to Coach Anderson about it. And he was already a good leader. He became a great leader. And really, you know, before it was all about the running back position, but now he really understands the scope and scheme of the offense. He knows what every position on the offensive line is going to do. He knows about the receivers, and he knows about what the quarterback's going to do.
And I think what's happened also is that guys like Turbin have not let this Aggie team give up. When they've had the opportunity to sort of fold up the tent over the last 3 or 4 weeks, when they've had these tough heartbreak losses. I mean, 3 losses by 8 total points, and each of them in the last 30 seconds of the ball game against Auburn, Colorado State, and last week against BYU. You've got guys like Bobby Wagner and guys like Robert Turbin that's saying, "Hey guys, hang on here. We're going to be okay." And tonight they're serving notice to the rest of the WAC. Hey, we may be the team that you got to beat.
You know, and Commissioner Benson has been saying, you know, Utah State might be the next Boise in terms of the team to just break out and have all sorts of success. And obviously tonight, an indication of that.
And credit to Gary Anderson and his staff.
Muhammad tripped up. Nice pickup.
You can see, though, the talent level, the depth level, overall the program level is just dramatically improved from where it was before Gary Anderson came to Logan.
Well, in Coach Anderson, there's 3 things that he likes to do: recruit the state of Utah, get the Polynesian athlete, and also the LDS mission program. And he has mission accomplished on all 3 of those. Well, I wish I could remember. As Smith's in trouble, able to get free somehow. Nice job. I'm just going to throw it away. Wish I could remember how many in-state kids were here with the last administration, but it was certainly under 20. In Coach A's first year, I think he had 42. Now he's got 55. And they're not just on the roster. They play. They make plays.
Contributing student athletes. And he said that in his opening press conference. He said, "We're going to win the battle in the state of Utah, kids." And he has. And these kids come here hungry to show that we can play.
It's good to see winning team, losing team chant here in football. Off the edge.
If they can get that student crowd going like that in football, watch out.
Well, they were great against Colorado State.
Absolutely.
And the herd showed up in full force. And tonight, an okay showing. And hopefully they'll be back for Louisiana Tech in a couple of weeks. And then when we have them again on KCSG against the Spartans, hopefully this place is off the hook.
And they'll need it. They'll need it to protect this home field. And Coach Morrill probably loved what he saw tonight. This was fast break football. I'm sure he loved the easy layups, the touchdowns, that some of the touchdowns that Utah State has scored here tonight.
Smith, with time, goes to the end zone. He's got 2 guys out there, and they broke it up. 2 guys open, and they don't get credit for a pass breakup, but they should, both of them out there.
McNeil and Huron both right there. It's been kind of the night that it's been for Wyoming since the first quarter. This is a 4th down play. Excuse me, a 3rd down play.
This is crazy. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that. Both of them right there, and then knock away from each other.
And Will Davis following the play. Do we give him a pass breakup on that just to cap off his night?
We got 2 statisticians up here. I would do it, but I'm not official. Here is Smith again. 4th and 3, and that one incomplete. You know, better days are ahead for Wyoming. A lot of youth, and I think they'll be terrific heading into Mountain West Conference play. But tonight was the Aggies' night. They could do no wrong on offense. Chucky Cate was terrific. Robert Turbin, 5th all-time leading rusher.
Statement game tonight.
Statement game
for Utah State tonight. They came out, they dominated from that opening possession on offense through the end of the ball game, and they finished tonight. They finished their blocks, they finished their drives, they finished everything tonight, including a stop on defense on 2 4th downs towards the end of the ball game. Coach Anderson's got to be just completely pleased by the effort here tonight by this Utah State football team.
So the Aggies putting up a 60-burger, beating Wyoming 63-19. They've improved to 2-3 and will face Fresno State on the road next week. Coach Anderson and Coach Christensen exchanging pleasantries. Your final thoughts, Kevin?
Well, I thought that the offense scoring on 8 consecutive possessions minus the kneel down at the end of the first half. I thought it was the Chucky Keaton night tonight. He came out tonight, was almost perfect. 15 of 20, over 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. Add in that 317 or whatever the rushing yardage was there at the end. You know, they exceeded their rushing total. I just thought this was a complete domination by this Aggie offense, and then the defense got some key stops when they needed to. This was the statement game leading into the WAC season that Utah State was looking for. They finished tonight. They believe now they may be the team to beat in the Western Athletic Conference.
63-19, Aggies victorious. They've improved to 2-3 on the season. And Chucky Keaton getting a nice win, a nice breakout performance for him. Back after this.